to build a Raven, I think, but does have those missile turrets in the middle. So Till playing it really safe, has full energy on almost all these medevacs and on 9 ghosts, pretty much.
Yep, he's going to be quick with those EMPs, though, because we've got at least 4 High Templars in this group with completely full energy. I mean, each one's going to be able to get off 2 storms if he doesn't EMP them right away, and he is breaking off those ghosts separately. But unfortunately, they're in the back of the army right now. They need to be in the front to actually engage versus this.
Master's Templar is still a little bit clumped here. He needs to be very, very careful. He can still easily lose a game that you've been ahead the whole time. Beautiful job. You can see the fact that he doesn't just have his army on that one single hotkey, able to get the force fields down before the storm, and he's going to clean that up. Very, very nice. Pushing forward those Immortals. Both players trading relatively similarly, but that can easily go so much differently for Protoss if those EMPs land. Archon's now going to reinforce here. More EMPs going down, but I think he's got this. He is at a supply deficit, but those units are so well upgraded. They're 3-2-3 already. And a lot of that supply is medevacs.
Yeah. So Artis is going to have to back off for now and wait for his resupply. Does have a lot more bio and streaming in the middle. Still continuing to get ghosts as well, so he's going to have extra EMPs. What is that? Shields level 3?
Yeah, you almost never see that, certainly not at this timing. It's almost impossible to get there this quickly unless you've had such a really, really economic opening. And he's just played this amazingly. I cannot say enough as to how his performance has been so far. He's just still chrono boosting everything. If you look at his natural, chrono boosting out Colossus, double pumping them, just finished chrono boosting out extended thermal lance, and chrono boosting out level 3, which is about to finish in, what is that, 20, 30 seconds? Still using up almost all of his chrono boost. His main has 10 energy, 26 energy, but looks like we have a push over here on the left. When the Marauders going after that 4th base, unpowering 2 of those cannons, so doing a little bit of damage. The DT's morphed in, gonna be able to clean that up. Linkstalker sniping those medevacs, so saves the Nexus, able to continue. Traded pretty evenly right now, 162 supply apiece. And I gotta say, Master's in a great spot. Looks like Artist on that 4th base, pretty much mined out of his main almost.
Now our Artist is going for air weapons, on air weapons level 2 right now. And Master once again just with a small strike force of stalkers trying to snipe those medevacs and blinking away. Yep. Even trying to snipe those Vikings now and get those numbers down.
So he does have a number of Colossus out, 3 out that I see in the natural, 2 more on the way. Archons and DTs. Nice fully energized Templar.
He was slumped there, but the High Templars in the back still has an opportunity. Storms on top of those Vikings. Fortunately, the rest of those do get sniped, it looks like. And there we go. Both players kind of backing off as they are still very evenly matched.
Yeah, Master just needs to be very, very careful. These moments are so tense. Even if you're ahead the entire game, it's so easy to just lose to something like really well-placed EMPs, regardless of how good your army is. Just because you don't have that many options. Colossus and High Templar, that's what you have to protect each time. Nice storms going off. That might be enough. Still trading very, very evenly. Both players.
And now Artist finally taking a lead here. 133 supply versus 153. 20 lead for the Artist. Pushing in on this 4th base. There is a 5th and 6th base on the left side though. She is mining very heavily from one of them. So he's still going to be okay if he lost this, but just mass Archons, 3-3-3, forcing that army away. Now, of course, Archons can very quickly die with a couple EMPs. So he's still continuing to get those ghosts.
Yeah, these very, very tense moments here.
Looks like Artist is even going to be taking a 5th base over on the left side. Both players loving that left side. And a DT on patrol on the right side, making sure there are no bases going up there. Making sure he continues with this lead.
Even this late in the game, still doing that blink harassment against that Xel'Naga tower, just trying to deny as much vision as possible. The Artist has now built up that Viking fleet quite well, and the Ghost fleet. Continually scanning to clear out those DTs at the Xel'Nagas. The Vikings A little bit out of place. Stalker's going to stun 3 of them. Beautiful job. Just these micro chippings away. It's like whatchamacallit? Hold on. Let me think. Go talk.
Right now we do have Artist coming in here, taking that Zelniga. So you can see everything here, as it looks like Immortals added to the fray. Lots of High Templars in the back, but once again, EMP is the weakness to everything here. You get plenty of ghosts, and there they go. EMP's on about half the army. Plenty of the Archons still alive here. They're going after all of the Vikings. All the Colossi immediately fell. Looks like the rest of the army.
Oh, beautiful storm, though.
Yeah,
beautiful.
It's going to be enough. He's right now trying to snipe those Archons. All the Vikings did land, and it looks like that may have been a mistake. Now Master pushing into the lead. 140 supply versus the 130 of Artists. And it's just a back and forth game.
Anyway, what I was thinking of was Shawshank Redemption. Very, very slowly just chipping away at this.
Now I've got to say, still a huge lead right now for Master, considering he does have those 2 mining bases on the left side. 87 Harvesters versus 72. We can see he has almost double the economy. And forgot what else I was going to say.
Speaking of economy, look at the minerals that both players under 500, pretty much always under even 300. Looks like Artist is floating a little bit of gas, but I mean, it's Terran gas, and you might as well be mining it anyway. But both players just macroing amazingly here. It looks like finally some of that Chrono Boost is building up, but still, I don't think he's hit 100 yet. And he does on the 9 o'clock, but just barely. And that's because he is nearly maxed. Again, still double producing Colossi here. Not sure what his end game transition is going to be as he starts reaching that max, and again, things get less tense here in the middle. Most players end up dropping a ton of gateways, since if you do lose an army, you need to resupply it as soon as possible. And, massive that Colossus is just so expensive should you lose it. And Stalker is going to scout this base out over here by Artist. Now, this is his most recent mining base, and it is very, very important to him that he keeps this alive.
He's actually trying to judge what to do right now. I think he might load up a couple units in a medevac and head over there and try to defend it. It's tough to say. Master is holding the Zelniga here with a single Dark Templar still, so he's making good use of those.
Stalkers blink in and kill another, I think, 1 Viking, maybe 2. Again, just these micro engagements every single time. These Blink Stalkers, just amazing how much damage they've taken and how much they've done, just blinking every single time. It's amazing how his multitasking is just going here.
Now, Artist might be making a small mistake in that he's been producing probes still. He's at 91 versus the 64, which actually means Artist has 30 more supply in his army. So that could work out to hurt him here. There's one big engagement. We can see 103 to 137 army supplies. Flashing in the middle here. Archon's trying to get into the front. Those go down extremely fast.
EMPs finally go off. And just like that, Master dropped down 30 supplies. So hard to resupply against this. Like I said, Terran is just so good in the late game. And right now, the scale is tipping very, very heavily in Artist's favor. A couple DTs trying to get in and stop this Bioforce from taking out this middle base. Right now, I'm not even sure what he can do.
Oh,
He's
man.
actually 7 supply behind just like that.
He EMP'd his own army to try to get that DT, I think. And EMP'd his ghosts.
Doesn't even matter. They're so good.
So they don't even have enough energy for EMPs anymore, so he's just doing stands. But yeah, 190 supply versus 126. One Storm, missing most of the units, trying to get those Vikings. Cannons at this base going down, he's going to lose the rest of the production. This is pretty much game. There is almost nothing he can do versus this composition, considering it's about as strong as when he first engaged it.
This is one of the best examples of, Terran OP that you can have. Look at all these High Templar. A couple of them did get EMP'd. Very few of them with Storm. And look at all these ghosts that are coming for them, trying to feedback them. The snipe is so cheap that you can actually use up that energy, kill off your opponent's units, and not die from feedback. But I mean, I have to say, Master played this nearly perfectly. It's very, very hard to point out any point in time where he was making any kind of mistake. And Artist just having the ability to make just a ton of ghosts and a ton of Vikings. Medevacs actually just cleaning up the main here. 131 supply to 192. After trying to rebuild a ton of gateways here, he's floating almost 4K minerals right now, just being unable to reproduce that army in time. Trying to save High Templars here and there, morphing those Archons, trying to do enough damage. All those Medevacs are pretty much out of energy. Not sure if that was from EMP or from actually healing those units, but
a lot of probes working on this right base, the third base, which was getting a couple more gateways up as well. So 11 gateways trying to finish here. You can see alarms going off inside this third base. That red doodad.
But
nice.
keep in mind, Artist is almost
up.
out of line. He's got 3 or 4 patches over here in the middle, and that one Stalker actually has 14 kills over here on the left, where he had that other base. He is trying to float over one to the middle, but it is possible that his economy is going to slow down. Right now he's double digits for a second.
So right now Master is just sitting here. He's got a couple High Templars ready to do storms. Looks like about 2 storms per. Been saving up a lot of energy trying to get to the high ground. Probably should get to the high ground right now just so he doesn't have to worry about that EMP quite as much. And all those High Templars. The last one sniped.
There are a lot more High Templar with full energy though.
Yep.
Can he hold on long enough to survive? Again, he's got a nice bank where he's still down 60 supply almost. And there go the mass EMPs coming off. There's still 1 storm left, and it's actually possible these Zealots going to be able to cut through a lot of that army. Those Marauders just hiding so long. Marauders so good, especially with 3-3 now. All the work he did chrono boosting out those 3-3-3 units now pretty much gone to waste as his opponent is fully upgraded himself. So
this may be one of the greatest comebacks, as I think Master, with all the money banked right now, could easily get ahead of Artist Supply. And the only mining base is basically the one right next to Master's base. He can just push into this base, couple good storms, and that's about 100 SCVs dead.
And he just needs to find a way to get there. He's trying to rebuild. He needs to make some of the probes in his third, just rebuild a ton of gateways here, but he's cleaning up this drop over here on the left. Zealots charging after a bunch of landed Vikings. Oh, that Medevac has 5 health. But now he's got a group of Zealots grouping up. He is only 20 supply down right now. Has Artist pushing in again, and it's almost like they've traded mains. And Artist containing him for this 9 o'clock, but he's got a lot of Zealots here. Is it going to be enough? EMP's going down on a bunch of those Archons. He's just unable to really close the distance in time, even with charge. But look at that, storming from behind. Beautiful job. Feedback on some of those Medevacs. And supplies incredibly close right now. They're about to go even. This is the most resilient I've ever seen any Protoss. If those Archons actually get into that mineral line, that mineral line toast.
He has just wiped out that army. And look at this, Master going after that command center. SCVs just everywhere trying to repair it. It's just a massacre in here. There's units cleaning up the bottom base right now, the drop from Artist originally, and the SCVs are forced to retreat finally, going instead to a base that was just planted on the right side.
They're actually even on Harvesters right now, 38-38.
Which means Master has a huge lead in army. It's 73 supply versus 36.
I have no idea how he held that, but Artist just transferring that base over. He's got like 40 SCVs mining it over here, but look at this. Master managing to reproduce, turn that huge bank into an army again. 135 supply for him, 87 for Artist, who just was unable to keep up with those bases. And now Master is once again on the warpath, going after the central base. I'm not sure if he scouted the one onto the right, but he does have High Templar over there to easily go for that. But it looks like he's just going to go for the army and going to do a great job. Stalker's finally able to make sure that he gets a decent engagement off, not allowing those Zealots to be kited freely here. And is he going to go for it? Yes, he is just going to go for the planetary here. Looks like he's got enough firepower that he's not going to lose too much, losing a decent amount of Zealots, but Still, he's about 50 supply ahead here.